Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Kabir Garba, and I'm here to present my assignment, my discussion assignment. First, I take the overview, which has the introduction. The Kent distinguishes two types of imperatives. Immanuel Kant's categorical imperatives has three main formulas. Number four, the categorical imperatives and adultery, the summary, and the references. First, I go with the introduction. Immanuel Kant, widely regarded as the father of deontology, is considered by many philosophers to be the single greatest philosopher of the modern era. Kant's ethical theory is based on the idea that there are certain moral principles that are universally binding and that these principles should guide our actions, regardless of the consequences. Some of the main questions that Kant's ethic focuses on are questions of right and wrong. What makes an action right or wrong? Which actions are we required by morality to perform? Do we do consequences matter? Is it ever permissible to do something morally wrong in order to achieve good consequences? Is it important to do actions with good intentions? And what are good intentions? Some of Kant's answers to some of these questions are complex, but as we will see, he doesn't think that consequences matter and thus good consequences cannot justify wrong actions. He also thinks that intentions are important to ethical evaluation of actions. Next, the Kent distinguishes two types of imperatives, egotistical imperatives and categorical imperatives. The first we have egotistical imperatives, which is conditional. If you want X, you do Y. Meaning that when you want to do something, you have to do something before getting that something because you cannot just sit down and get what you want. You need to do what is there to be done for you to achieve what you want. Next, we have categorical imperative. Categorical imperative is basically talking about the absolute, universal, and unconditional. This means do why because it is morally right, regardless of your desire. Categorical imperatives forms the basis of morality, commanding actions as ends in themselves. The next we go to Immanuel Kant's categorical imperatives has three formulations: formula of universal law, formula of humanity as an ends, and formula of kingdom of ends. The formula of universal law is a principle that teaches and acts according to maxim whereby you can at the same time will that is to become a universal law. When you will take this into um, adultery, when we apply this to adultery, you will see that there is a breach of promise of sexual inclusivity inherent in the marriage contract if a person will that everyone should be able to commit adultery. The very concept of marriage and promises will lose their meaning and break down. Second, we look at the formula of humanity as an end. This formula tells us to treat each people with humanity, whether if in yourself or in the person of any other. When you take it into adultery, when you apply this to adultery, you see that it's a it simply means the breach of trust, which is which uses the unknowing spouse merely as a means to an end. Number three, the formula of kingdom ends. This tells us to act as a law-making member in a kingdom where everyone treats each other as ends. When we apply this into adultery, we see that in a society governed by mutual respect and moral duties, where trust is fundamental to social cohesion, the practice of adultery will undermine the fundamental principles necessary for such a community to function. Lastly, we go to summary. Kant view adultery as a violation of perfect duties, duties that are always binding, specifically the duties not to lie and the duty to respect other rational beings. The morality of the actions is independent of the consequences. Example, potential happiness from the affair or the states of the existing marriage and rests solely on whether the action adheres to the universal moral law. Thank you.